Yeah. 26th of December. And we're gonna put the new gloves on, for the march. It's not gonna be a long one today, more than 93 minutes. I guess we're gonna clock in new Providential true north, and you're seeing the pyramid. Pyramid is 3 mountains, or peaks of the mountains, because we got that Mount Royal, which has 3 peaks. Mountain system, Mount Royal's got those 3 peaks. And we're gonna go check out for the X, for the white, for the Z, for the blue, for the black, for the white, for the rainbow, for the farmers, for the butchers, for the truckers, for the nurses, for the doctors, for the grocery store clerks. That's what we're gonna go do it. And we're gonna do on meditations towards the sunset special, December 26th. Rock and roll always for the butchers, the bakers, the nurses, the doctors, the grocery store clerks, auctioning everything that you see here. In my neighborhood, from my neighborhood, we're gonna go roundabout, all the way left or right and roundabout. Watch the car, because sometimes the brakes malfunction. The citizen driver might press the accelerator instead of the brake, so you always gotta look out, for the XYZ. So here we are at the Sunshine Food Pantry. We're gonna see if there's any food. I'm not gonna take, because I got plenty of food, but this is for the community. Let's see. Moment of truth. Oh, there's something there for somebody, I guess. This is what is this? Buy a conditioner, shampoo. I got my own shampoo, but if somebody needs a shampoo, sometimes this is full right here, So that's good for the community. Please, millionaires, give some charity. Millionaires got to give a little bit of a charity, So always grateful, thankful. Rent paid, electricity bills paid, got food and coffee, and always got to be meditating. Do some push-ups, do some squats. Let's do some squats right here. Up and down we go for some squats. Up and down we go for some squats. Always stretching, exercising before we commence. Stretch your XYZ, and stretch your left, right arm, and gotta go see what's in the fridge there. Here, special overtime every time, rock and roll special. With Rainbow Dragon, we're gonna see. Oh, see, you got something you can check out, and you can come serve yourself here. You can take bread if you want. See, you got a little bit of bread, and we got some food. Somebody left bread, and somebody left some food. Oh, there's plenty of bread, so. For the community here, we got some bread. I'm not gonna take, because I got bread at home, but see, it's a good bread now, and good bread with that, so you can check out that, and you can check it out. So that's what you can do. Take a little bit of bread, take a little bit of food there. And what is this? Let's see what this is. This is also some bread, so I'm gonna put it back. I'm not gonna take. You got cooked, something that was cooked, and you got some food here. So if anybody get on that hungry side, what is these? These little things, best before December, so they're kind of expiring. So I'm just gonna take these. I'm gonna take these little 3. Thank you for the donation. Little garments, I'm gonna pocket them. 1, 2, and 3, and that's it. Because they expire. So I'm gonna check for the taste. See, the best before date pass, so they might not be so good. And that's it. Yours truly. Sometimes I put it. Gotta get on that mask. Or mask like this. Somebody donated some food. A mask like this I have my own. This you can dance, rock and roll with it for the mask. And here we go on the XYZ, and that's how we're gonna go, So it's independent, ISP, artist, athlete, philosopher, geopolitical, theoretical, analyst, and theorist. On the go with it, and on the go now. Gonna go towards the sunset, zigzag it, I guess. All the way to the sunset. Grateful, thankful, my rent's paid, electricity bills paid, got food and coffee, and I just showed that fridge there, community fridge. And if you in my neighborhood here, bro, my neighborhood is actually a huge neighborhood. Borough Côte des Neiges, Integree. It's really a big. It's 190,000, right? So 190,000 people, because it's part of the Montreal Island Metropolis. So it's part of that complex. And I wanted to say my gratitude. I was a bit moody earlier, but I'm no longer depressed and suicidal. It's been years and years, more than 7 years ago when I crossed Canada, and I cannot stress the importance of regular physical exercise and gratitude, to have a mental gratitude. And of course I gotta salute Hydro-Quebec. Now I see that light above. See the light that's gonna light up, and when it's coming dark, in order, of course, for us to have electricity, which is clean, zero pollution, zero emission, renewed. And that's why I've got those electricity. And yesterday I went with a friend, and we checked around the neighborhood, all the beautiful lights, anonymous friend, and I missed the deadline yesterday to propose marriage, and I guess I got a new deadline since yesterday. I began a new 40-day journey in parallel to the 44-day Rite, a new 40-day journey in parallel to the 44-day Rite, a new 40-day journey in parallel to the 44-day Rite. So 40 is going to meet 44, 40 is going to meet 44, 40 is going to meet 44 with that. And that's, a little bit of an Asperger's, having HFA, high functioning autism, and being a mystic with my own spiritual teachings, who's not perfect, far from it, but now I already feel better already. When I started on the march, I started a while ago, not that much, not long ago, but today I started filming late, and I did some of that laundry, so I gotta give a shout out for the laundry machine, laundromat, and the dryer, because I used to go for years and years to do it in the neighborhood there when I show in the past videos, because my neighborhood is a big neighborhood, it's more than 100,000 people just in my neighborhood, so, in Metropolis, Montreal, Hawk Island, Hawk Island, that's nice. Got a little bit of mixture of Halloween there with a little bit of Xmas, so I celebrated. Let's go for the dancing goddess in the Dragon Kingdom. Financially stressed. My only stress now is financial. My only stress now is financial. But I'm grateful, thankful. My rent's paid, electricity bill's paid. Got food and coffee, and got some wafers. Thank you to my anonymous friend who gave me a little of those wafers. And you got a little smiley Santa there. So rock and roll for the farmers. And I gotta give some LOV, because every time I'm on the march for years and years as a philosopher, geopolitical, theoretical analyst, or theorist, I always gotta say some love, to the farmers, to the butchers. Hey, the truckers on the road now, stacking up. Last Thursday before 2025 is the last Thursday. It's gonna be the last Friday, or the last Saturday and Sunday. Last weekend coming is the last Thursday. I'm gonna give a shout out, salutation, because I just took up the compost, and I used to be part of the team who brought in the compost services and the bins. I delivered the bins, and I made educational, informational awareness, and went door to door because I was part of the team a few years ago, 6 years ago, 2018, who brought in the bins and who worked a few months employed for the part of the project to bring the composting in my neighborhood, and I take a little pride in that because it's part of the ecology, and I try to do it the best every week. But I gotta salute, because now later on today is gonna be those workers on those big trucks and loading them up, going across a neighborhood which is 100,000 people, Notre Dame de Grace, NDG Montreal, Hawk Island, HAWK, which is of course merge with of course Côte des Neiges, so I gotta make sure that I'm getting the salute to pass, because you never know. The brakes malfunction sometimes. The citizen driver might press the accelerator, so I'm always gotta get that HAWK hawk and turn my head left or right, because that's you get a little bit of a danger while commuting, while going, being that I'm in the public now. I'm no longer in my private headquarters, and I got added responsibilities, duties, and obligation. And again, I gotta give a shout out to my anonymous friend, whom if I make $1 million, $1 billion, $1 trillion, gonna give half 50% without any hesitation, as I will, to build on the Canadian-US border, the North American People's Imperial Coliseum, and the Forgotten Goddess Temple, So now I have, of course, added responsibilities and obligations and duties with it, and of course it's something that, with my Asperger's, makes me a bit on the weird side with it. It's not a mental illness again, it's a neurological mental divergent condition, so I'm just predisposed to special interests, to ritualize clumsy sometimes bodily movements, and we're less able, majority of us, at least myself as an Aspie, we have some difficulties with social interaction, and we tend to breach personal space. We tend to get really close to people, really close, and that's just Asperger's, aka HFA, high functioning autism. I use both because it's an appellation, which of course makes the same characteristic, and it's part of the same neurodivergent condition, not a mental illness. It's a neurodivergent psychic mental condition, and this revolutionary centrist, pro North American Collective Union, and of course rock and roll always, farmers, butchers, bakers, and gotta give some LOV now to the truckers on the road by the Canada, United States. Let's unite, get that border for the Democratic Republic of Public-Private Partnership base, my dream. The dancing goddess in the Dragon Kingdom, the dancing goddess in the Dragon Kingdom. The dancing goddess in the Dragon Kingdom is fundamentally a dream for a PPP, a public-private partnership, and to create the universal exchanger based on my theory, the DRT, debt refusion theory. And that's how I'm excited. It comes out of a paradox as being an artist, philosopher who's special interest. Some NTs and neurotypicals determined to call obsessive interest, but for us Aspies, we're super intense focused when we're working in our specific interests. And my specific interest, my trinity of special interests as an Aspie, that Aspies, HFA, high-functioning autistics have special interests, and my interest is, of course, the Holy Trinity, geopolitics, the study, the analysis, the theorizing of geopolitics, and I am myself an independent geopolitical theoretical analyst who has predicted what's happening now across the North American complex and beyond, across the world, internationally, globally. Of course, I predicted an international conflagration, aka World War III, back in 2019, and I got proof of work. I got proof of that work because I got hundreds of videos online, and I created my own workout training program system because fitness and sports, dancing is my favorite sport. Dancing is my favorite sport. Dancing is my favorite sport. I love to dance. It's my favorite fitness activity and sport, and also sports in general, fitness. And I created my own workout training program system, and with that is the rock and roll. So that's the trinity: geopolitics, sports, fitness, and dancing is the same thing. Dancing is a sport, and dancing is a fitness activity also. So it's fitness, sport. But I love hockey, I love basketball, gridiron, North American football, boxing. And I'm challenging Donald Trump to a boxing match on the Canadian-US border. Have been since 2018. And all besides that, parallel with that is rock and roll. Always gotta rock and roll for the firefighters on the road. LOV to the firefighters, LOV to the nurses, eh? And the doctors, eh? It ain't all about the money. Gotta get a LOVUC. Gotta get that LOVUC, LOVUC, LOVUC. So now I'm marking a special 40-day Rite, which I began yesterday in parallel with a 44-day Rite that I'm challenging Donald Trump to a boxing match on the Canadian-US border and on the 20th of January. That, of course, I am. And have been since 2018, challenging Donald Trump on the Canadian-US border, and have been and am still. And of course, right here from my second home, Mount Royal, Montreal Island, 2.5 million people. I feel good now. I cannot stress enough for years and years the importance of regular fitness. And I'm marking more than 42 months, more than 3.5 years since I stopped watching pornography. I stopped watching pornography and porn. I don't oppose it morally or ethically, you know. I do not oppose morally or ethically. As a matter of fact, I clicked on about 3 videos because it popped in my YouTube feed, about Lily something, and her sleeping with 100 men, and the only thing people were saying, criticize, and I say, well, if that was her will, you know, I don't mind if she donates, that person donates, or porn stars donate for me to build the Forgotten Goddess Temple, because I don't play the self-righteous. I just stopped watching pornography for myself, you know. I don't oppose it. 45 months ago, 3.5 years, I'm marking 3.5 years, and you know, I am myself pansexual androgynous. And back to that story, there were 3 videos which popped, and I watched like 3 short videos of about 6 minutes each, 6 minutes each. So I put them to watch them, and it was about an individual citizen who had sexual relation in the same day with 100 men, sexual relations in the same day with 100 men, sexual relations in the same day, on the same day with 100 men. So the only thing I'm concerned is hygiene and consent and hygiene, and you know, that's how I rock and roll with that, you know. It's I guess, you know, and I say if that will make somebody happy or joyous, adults, and with consent and hygiene, that's something which, but myself, you know, I'm happy, joyous, and you know, I love my BDSM switch. I'm not looking for any romantic relationship, stuff like that. If I marry somebody, it's gonna be a special alliance, you know, because it's a special alliance, you know. So I'm gonna propose maybe on New Year's Day, first day of the new year, because I'm gonna clean before the day before New Year's, Monday and Tuesday, just before Wednesday the 1st. I'm gonna do lots of cleaning next week, and get rid and auctioning 93% of everything that I own, and starting 2025. The only resolution, I guess, which I'm gonna make for 2025 is gonna be brushing my teeth 3 times. Brushing my teeth 3 times, brushing my teeth 3 times a day and getting to fix the teeth, I guess, and just the working out, I'm doing it already, just maybe increasing it, do a little bit of ab work and fighting Donald Trump and building. That's my will, to start building. So I don't mind if anybody, you know, whatever, sex workers or, you know, porn stars, whatever. And Lily's, the surname doesn't come to me right now, but you know, I guess she could be my sister. And as a brother, as a big brother or sister who's 50-50, you know, because I'm androgynous, pansexual, my sexuality is pansexual, who loves BDSM switch, you know. And I stopped watching porn, but I got a tiny little scar clit, dick, clit, 50-50 being androgynous, you know. And I am dragon, rainbow dragon is priestess, Hana, rainbow dragon is priestess, Hana, rainbow dragon is priestess. I said priestess. Priestess of the GODDSS, and that's what it is with that. So if she would be my sister, the only thing I would ask is hygiene, consent is a must. Consent, hygiene, you know. I was thinking if I would be her brother, I would probably laugh, and I said 100 in the same day. God damn it. You should have given me 50. You should have left 50 to me. Should have left 50 to me. Supposedly my sister's gonna do 1,000, so leave 500 to me, you know. To build a forgotten goddess temple, to build a forgotten goddess temple, to build a forgotten goddess, GODDSS, but, you know, me with my little scar, little click scar, you know, but now sealing a lot. In the past I got an alternative cream, so sometimes goddess magic get that rocket out of space starships, you know, like going up the rocket stars. But you know, sometimes we gotta just understand, because we're different beings, eh? We're individuals as well. Myself, an individual, was weird with Asperger's, you know, and having my own neurological mental divergent condition, you know, is something which, you know, I just wanted to see if they need some help there. I think they're okay. I like to offer people some help when they have more heavy stuff, but they got a grip and they're rolling. So they had a mattress, and shout out, because I got a new bed. It's a small bed. It's not the best, but it's good. It's good enough. It's better than what I used to have as a bed. Is better now. And where I used to live is better now, because I used to live in a Citoyen, in a moldy underground basement. And I just remember, you know, I remember moving where I live now, and I have problems accessing memories from earlier childhood, earlier adolescence and stuff like that. You know, that's my memories. There's a blackout. It's called retrograde amnesia. And just, I got flashes of trauma, whatever the case may be, but, you know, hence I guess my hyper vigilance sometimes in the public. And I do not like violence, but I'm hyper vigilant, and I'm gonna play that defense. So back to whatever the case may be, now diverging a bit on the case, because it's parallel, I guess, to what I'm saying, that I stopped watching pornography in the past 45 months, 3.5 years, so marking in a way, celebrating, but because I do, you know, masturbate, but in my own, you know, I get my BDSM sexual healing, sexual liberation, you know, and I'm pretty happy nowadays. Since the past year, since I survived COVID, I'm gonna be marking 5 years for that. In February, March, I was 2020, February, March, it was very sick for me. It was like death, pestilence, and disease. Ah! I know it sounds like a hardcore death metal song when I say death, pestilence, and disease, but that's how it was, and I die right there. I'm being reborn there, and I work out more than 372 workouts, and I lost weight. I'm getting fit. I got some strength, but it's not all about strength, you know. That's what I'm gonna say, you know, because I would have voted for Kamala, Joe Biden, and I'm a mystic who knows that I was born in the USA three times, post 76, twice as a man when I served in the same United States Army, in the same US Army, 2 different wars, 156 years apart. And once I was born a woman, sometimes I was born a woman, a man. And George Patton, he wrote Through a Glass Darkly in his mystic belief of reincarnations, in his mystical reincarnations belief. He wrote Through a Glass Darkly, but he didn't mention that about 2,600 years ago, he was my wife. he was born my wife, George Patton, you know, so that's all we gotta get doing with that, you know. So here I gotta cross the street, I'm just gonna go hydrate, dude. I love somebody wearing that red, you know, and you know I'm a centrist and I have eccentricities. I'm also an artist, philosopher, but again I celebrate today 45 months, and to that person who slept with 100 men in a day, you know, I treat her like she would be my sister, you know, like she would be my sister, and I would say, wow, live half to me, you know, don't be so greedy, don't be so selfish, because I am pansexual, you know, I love black, white men and women, and, you know, I am part of the LGBTQ community and the neurodivergent community, but I would have said consent and hygiene, that's it, you know, and that's, give some charity, and give some charity for me to build here in North America, the Forgotten Goddess, GODDSS temple, the Forgotten Goddess, GODDSS temple, the Forgotten Goddess temple, the Forgotten Goddess, GODDSS temple, Goddess, GODDSS temple. I'm a piece of dust, you know, the goddess encompasses the universe, and the fruit she bore is the sun, so I'm a nobody, so my prayers are not gonna, even if I pray, my prayers will not move. Her temple is the pyramids, her temple is the pyramids, so look, she calls me in a song, limdick, in a song, you know, but she also says, I'm gonna transform, you're gonna have a rocket snake, you know. I say, well, I'll take that, but with one condition. So what's that? You're not gonna slut shame, and you're gonna be married, you're gonna be a cuckold, so say whatever. Anyways, so basically what I'm saying is that sometimes we gotta use humor, you know, in healing ourselves, you know, and yeah, in certain things I'm mediocre, average, and so, you know, but now when it comes to my dream is serious, and I predicted serious things because parallel to me being a philosopher and artist with Asperger's, HFA, neurodivergent, I'm also a geopolitical theoretical analyst and theorist, and I predicted what's happening now in 2019. I predicted what's happening now in a general manner in 2019. I predicted an international conflagration. I got proof of work. And of course, that proof of work is online somewhere, my YouTube channel somewhere, you know, in the hundreds of, I got more than 1,000 videos, I guess. Last time I got for my rock and roll song, the most views I think I got for a video is 156. So double that, I guess. After 333, I'm gonna go viral. Support a dream. But besides being famous, and you know, I wouldn't mind being, because I'm just financially stressed. I wouldn't mind just seeing more love, you know. I like to matchmake, and that's what it is with that, you know. So that's what it is with that. We gotta LOV a bit, you know. How are we gonna fight things? And if there's LOV, you know, it's not all about the money, you know. Money, if I would have 44 billion now, I would go from now on after Christmas, as I would have went from November 6th until Christmas, and now after Christmas I would have been going, and now I would have been going with, I would have taken 10%. That would have been the equivalent of 4.4 billion. A billion is 9 zeros. A billion has 9 zeros. A billion has 9 zeros. So I would have taken 10% of 44 billion, and I would have went to donate 50,000 to across North Americans, Quebecers, Canadians, North Americans, those vulnerable, homeless, and vets, and I would have said, this is your second chance. You know, your second chance. This is your second chance, you know. So that is your second chance, and I would have said, this is my redemption, and this is your second chance. I'm just gonna go to the trash, throw something there, and you know, compassion by action. Let's go be some charitable, you know. Build the North American People's Imperial Coliseum. Let's build the North American People's Imperial Coliseum. Let's build the North American People's Imperial Coliseum. Together, let's build the North American People's Imperial Coliseum. Let's build the North American People's Imperial Coliseum together. Let's build the North American peoples. I can't get to the trash. Auction everything now. There we go, finally. Thought I was never gonna get to it, but I did. So I'm gonna go towards the sunset. I'm gonna cross the bridge and go back. So there's an address here on Westminster. When you enter, it says number 40, but when you exit, it says number 44. I'm actually gonna cross and show it and then cross back again. It's the first one. No, I'd never seen that before. So because it's the same address where you exit and when you enter, right? When you enter like this, there's only one address. You enter and you exit. But there, because it's post-Canada, and of course they just came out of being on a strike, you're gonna see what I'm referring on. You're gonna see what I'm referring on, you know? You're gonna see. I never seen anything like that before. I never seen anything like that except here in this specific neighborhood. When I come shopping sometimes here now, I'm broke, but you know, I gotta give a shout out, salutation. Gotta give a salutation to the grocery store clerks. Love you, grocery store clerks. See? So here is the exit. But here you see number 40. That's 40. It's red. It's not 40, it's 40 because that's 30 something. See, you're gonna see? Let's go see that one. So the address, I'm specific. Maybe this is an Asperger thing, but see this address? See here it says 34. The address is 34. 34 Westminster. 34, see? 34, that's 34. See there? That's 34, right? So that's 34, it goes up. But here is the same place, the same locale, right? But as you see here, there's an address here. There's a 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, and here's 44. See, 44, 44, see? So that's 34, this is 40, and 44. So you got 40, 44, 40, 44, 40, 44, 44, 44. You see, it's interesting, eh? And it's only one, because that's an entrance, and that's where you exit. And here you got 48. Address 48, that's the 48, so. It's just something which is, I never seen that, because it's really one address, but my anonymous friend who has some wisdom, knowledge, and understanding explained that they had to do that because of post-Canada, how it was to do the triage. Because see here it goes up, now it's 56, 56, 56, see? But they also had two doors, right? But they also have like one, but it's just one address, but they had to put two, when you enter and when you exit. But it's kind of like in reverse anyways. This how addresses are. It's a unique address basically in Montreal. How our addresses work and function. See, that's 66, 66, 66. So now it's going up, right? Anyway, so that's because it's basically one building, right? It's not two distinct buildings. That's basically what I'm saying. So it normally should have been just 40, and 44 should have been the next, right? It should have been just 40, and the next one, which is distinct, with the next entrance should have been 44. Right, basically what I'm hinting at here in this freestyle rock and roll, you know, as I march on the go, freestyle rock and roll, marching on the go, which is truly beautiful here, trees, and gotta give a shout out to Hydro-Quebec, beautiful colors on the lights, colors in the lights, you know, colors touch the sky, and I've been up in the lights, I've been up in the rock bottom, yeah, almost died, they tried to take me out, but they didn't succeed, hey, I got plenty of scars so you can see. I would ask people that I rock and roll, forget about that. I rock and roll 24/7. I gotta give her a shout out. I'm gonna cross the street here. Thank you. You gotta stop here. They have to stop because it's pedestrian, you know. I gotta give a shout out, salutation to the bus drivers, public bus drivers, train conductors. Train conductors. Gotta give some LOV to the train conductors that you see, and the butchers and the bakers and the nurses and the doctors. It ain't all about Wall Street. Gotta give a little bit of charity so that you can see. Gotta give a little bit of charity so that you can see. Gotta be a little bit of charity so that you can be. You can be for the firefighters you can see. For the firefighters that you see, LOV. Gotta give some LOV to the firefighters. That's firefighters headquarters, not really headquarters, but It's a station, firefighter station. Firefighters of North America, Quebec, Canada, North Americans Unite is the call. North Americans Unite. North Americans Unite, as I'm marking this. Yesterday began on the Xmas. Happy birthday again to my cousin Justin Trudeau, with which sometimes I am 50-50. As I am with Uncle Legault, Uncle Trump. I'm going to say Uncle Trump, although I would have voted for Joe Biden and Kamala, but we're going to fight in the sportsmanlike, and we're going to make that North American Union. And I don't know about that 51st state. This Quebecer Canadian was born in the USA 3 times, served in 2 different wars, same US Army, 156 years apart, and we're gonna meet each other as equals, 50-50 on that North American collective. We're gonna play that defense and via public-private partnership incorporate some of my ideas, principles, and propositions thereof, which are fundamentally public-private partnership based, part of the ongoing Dancing Goddess in the Dragon Kingdom. Part of my dream, we implement the DRT, we'll rebuild the infrastructure, create the universal exchange unit. Look at those cuties there. Create the universal exchange unit, the UE, U dot, universal, E dot, exchange unit. Create the universal exchange unit, and we're going to get that Dragon Army, the North American Citizen Integrated Security and Service Force by my new 911 21st century integrated protocols for security, service, and defense, only for security, service, and defense, only for security, service, and defense, only rock and roll 24/7 for my North American coast to coast, ocean to ocean. My brothers and sisters, Canadians. The king is absent, It's time for the Republic, it's time for the North American Union, just like the European Union, for the on the table propositions for the Great North American Census, 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 the Great North American Census. And gotta get to see everybody who's in North America by the creation of a North American integrated passport, a currency, and North American integrated power grids. That's what we're gonna need to do with that, and that's what we're gonna get doing. What is that there? Or somebody put some donations, somebody put a little bit of donations for the bag. Somebody donated a little bit of something. Let's go on a zigzag on the, gonna check that 3 there. I'm just gonna go zigzag a little bit, and besides going through the bridge, I'm just gonna turn a little bit on the zigzag here to check a little bit of decorations as we go. The holidays, Christmas decorations, because sometimes I missed, and I want to see that at the corner there, the tree, So, gotta get a shout out Hydro-Quebec. We gotta build more dams. Here we got 63, and we gotta get the Great North American Census. The Great 2025, we gotta implement the Great North American Census. The Great North American Census for a common currency, a common passport, just parallel like the European Union here in the NORAD complex. Because Quebec, where we made the Great Linguistic Compromise, Quebec, Canada, we made the Great Linguistic Compromise, and we continue to do so, my brothers and sisters, blacks as well. Like 13.4% of the population of North America, my neighbors included, are black. So if I put anything on the table, first and foremost is what I got most. Kisses by the trillions, money I don't have, because I'm financially stressed myself, but kisses I got, hugs I got, and to fight racism with some action, some hugs, some kisses, and some charity if I would have, I would definitely give charity, but I'm myself financially stressed, but I got trillions of kisses from the goddess. I got my dream on the table for the North American Collective, or the North American Civilizational Collective, because we constitute a great civilizational complex of which we made the Great Linguistic Compromise. We made the Great Linguistic Compromise decades ago, and we continue to do it. The Great Linguistic Compromise of the French language. 10 million Quebecers here in Quebec. 10 million Quebecers here in Quebec. 10 million Quebecers, including myself, Quebecer, Canadian, North American. And we got to do that integration, North American, create a common passport with my brothers and sisters. Millionaires, billionaires, corporations, billionaires especially. Quebec billionaires, Canadian billionaires, North American billionaires, USA. The 21st century, we've got to mass finance, create the universal exchange by the DRT, which I'm going to discuss soon. And of course, we have to rebuild the North American ghettos, the North American neglected urban inner cities, You know, the ghettos. We gotta rebuild the ghettos. You know, we have to. We have to focus. North American Collective. You know, we have to do good here. My home. You know, I got a home now. This is my home, Quebec, Canada, North America, Montreal. You know, Montreal, Quebec, Canada, Montreal, and could do lots of good. That's something which I could sing lots of rock and roll for, and I wouldn't mind. We need to get that North American Criminal Rehabilitation Act. North American Criminal Rehabilitation Act. We need to get that North American Criminal Rehabilitation Act, you know. We gotta get that North American Criminal Rehabilitation Act. The North American Criminal Rehabilitation Act with certain distinctions and affairs, but we gotta get doing, you know, the Dragon Army, public-private partnership, and we're gonna play that defense like that hardball ball. We're gonna play that defense like that hardball ball, aka blackout ball. We're gonna play that defense where my 49ers lost. Please, NFL National Football League, NHL National Hockey League, NBA National Basketball Association, MLB, please give and reduce the tickets by 44.9% ASAP, and give some free tickets to the public workers, the nurses, public nurses, those of course who pick up the garbage every week. I got 3 services: garbage collection, public sanitation, recycling collection, and today's compost. That 3 services weekly. They're athletes also. Please give them some little tickets to the public workers. And my dream for the North American Collective, a common passport, a common currency, rebuild the infrastructure and propel the North American Collective via public-private partnership. Public-private partnership. At the end of the day, Trudeau is not my enemy. It's my cousin. At the end of the day, left, right, center, we're not enemies, you know, North Americans. Big brother, little brother, Canada, USA, North Americans unite, little sister, big sister, little sister. You know, North America, we gotta get that integration like the European Union, create a common bank, you know, and create the UE. That's the only solution, and we gotta rebuild the infrastructure. And my brothers and sisters, we gotta standardize the prices. Secure food, housing, and transport. Construction workers are going to build it, eh? Construction workers build the constructions. Construction workers, we need that PPP, public-private partnership. The Dragon Army, North American Citizen Integrated Security Service and Defense Force, integrated to existing security social platforms, parallel with the DGA Dancing Goddess Army, the Dancing Goddess Army. Oh, this is beautiful here. You know, the individual liberty with the collective interest, individual interest and collective interest, harmonized in motto of Montreal here is Concordia Salus. And I don't remember, but I think I graduated high school a long time ago, 20 years ago. 2023 is going to be, I got to double check, because I think in 3 months it's going to be like, soon next year is going to be 22 years since I graduated high school, you know. So supposedly I lived in, I don't remember, because I just don't remember, have problems accessing earlier memory from my life outside of the island of Montreal. 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 Outside of the island of Montreal, you know. I just remember moving and healing, was depressed, suicidal, sick, ill, and healed, survived COVID and survived a surprise attack, survived the surprise attack, you know, survived the surprise attack in the Montreal Metro, and hit my head and had my right, I was attacked by surprise, you know. I hit my head, had my right arm dislocated. I went to the hospital and they replaced it and gave me medicine, and I was like in a coma home on medication for a few days, and I had my Cillian Pirate episode. I had my own Cillian Pirate episode, and here I am today, you know, December 26th, financially stressed but grateful. Got fit, and getting fitter every day, and continuing to work out, train, exercise, and, you know, I'm celebrating 45 months off of, about more than 45 months now, more than 3.5 years now, since I stopped watching like pornography. I think it was 2021, around March, April. So around March, April, something like that. Between March and June between March and June 2021, when I stopped watching pornography. So, but yeah, I fantasize, I masturbate regularly. I do masturbate regularly. There's no need to spy on me, China. It varies day to day, moody. Varies day to day. There's no need to spy on me. Secret services of China don't cross the Pacific, and secret services of Russia don't cross the Atlantic. We got East Coast, North Coast, and Stasis are gone. Stasis are gone. Securities are gone. Mossad. Pegasus. No need. Gonna get us. Flash sunlight. Solar flare on your heads. Avenge that 11-fold, avenge that 11-fold times 11, 7 times 7, avenged. Blah, blah, blah. I owe beside $10,000 to the RBC, and I consider that I owe half of every million, billion, and trillion, which I will make starting today, to my anonymous friend. But I will to build 3, the Forgotten Goddess Temple on the Canadian-US border, and the North American Imperial People's Coliseum for fitness, sports, and sports activities, maybe even some UFC fights, football, dancing, and the DGA part. The North American People's Imperial Coliseum. I will to build the North American People's Imperial Coliseum, and the pyramid, the House of the Dragon, red, scarlet, crimson. Scarlet and crimson are shades of red, basically. Scarlet and crimson are shades of red. To build the North American People's Imperial Coliseum, and House of the Dragon, a pyramid. For me, simple, austere, severe. And the Rainbow People's Palace. There's a 4th one. The Rainbow People's Palace. The Rainbow People's Palace for my fellow LGBTQ community. Gender diverse, Gender diverse. We gotta have a compromise, 50-50 sometimes, in the middle. Gotta get that LOV. It's not all about money. Gotta get that LOV. It's not all about money. Gotta get that LOV. It's not all about money. And I'm gonna discuss the DRT, debt refusion theory now. DRT, the debt refusion theory. It has to be implemented. The DRT, debt refusion theory, has to be implemented. Why do I make the statement? And I'm gonna make the statement that it is the only solution. Gonna turn my head left and right as I cross the street. The DRT, debt refusion theory, is the only solution. The DRT is the only solution. The debt refusion theory is the only solution to where we are now with the public finances of Canada. I'm pretty much North America. The public finances of Canada. The public finances of Canada. So the DRT, debt refusion theory, the DRT. The debt refusion theory is the only solution from where we are now. Why do I make that statement? The motive I make that statement is because we pay $46.5 billion in interest on the public debt this fiscal year. In 2020-2021, the amount was $20.3 billion. $20.3 billion, it doubled to $40.6. 20.3, it doubled to 40.6. 20.3, it doubled to 40.6. Right? That would have been double, because that's what it was. Just debt servicing, in other words, paying the interest on the public debt of Canada. In 2020-2021, it was $20.6 billion. That's still a staggering amount of interest paid on the public debt. 20,000 million. A billion has 9 zeros. 20.3 double, it would have been 40.6, right? 40.6. So now it's 46.5 this year. You realize that it could be the first week of January, as the financial fiscal year changes, there could be a public financial black swan event. Public financial black swan event. Black swan is a financial terminology for a worst case scenario type of financial, economic, commercial situation. So it could be a public financial collapse in Canada. The collapse of public finances in Canada. It could be the collapse of public finances in Canada. There could be the collapse of public finances in Canada. There could be the collapse of public finances in Canada. It could be worst case scenario. Listen, it's not sustainable. Paradoxically, due to my Asperger's condition, HFA, functioning autism, and being that geopolitics is my special interest, also known as obsessive interest, and I have to work on my characteristics, because it's not symptoms. Symptoms is for an illness, and Asperger's is not. Is a neurodivergent condition. Is a neurodivergent condition. Neurodivergent condition. You know. So being a neurodivergent condition, that's what it is with that. So that's how we gotta get doing with that, and that's how we gotta get implementing the DRT, the debt refusion theory. So it's a neurodivergent condition, and paradoxically, out of the curse, in many ways, I suffered struggle due to it. But I got the DRT, debt refusion theory, DRT, debt refusion theory, the DRT, the debt refusion theory, the DRT, debt refusion theory for the creation of the U, you know, the universal exchange in it, you know, the universal exchange in it. So the debt refusion theory we explained on the table, you know. So basically for the DRT, I'm gonna explain it now, you know. We gotta get on that DRT, you know, so that's what we gotta get doing. So the debt refusion theory being that is the only solution, again, due to the fact that we pay 46.5 billion in interest. 46.5 billion in interest. 46.5 billion in interest. There's no other way around this but my debt refusion theory. I'm gonna just go across the street and turn back on the other side of the bridge, because I was gonna go get, actually I could go through the wilderness, but it's probably gonna be lots of snow through the wilderness, in the wild a little bit. Should cross the street, left, right, I guess. Let's go through that side. Let's see what's up. Just gonna see. I guess I got double socks, and I didn't take the boots, but these shoes which I'm auctioning for a minute. So the debt refusion tree is the only solution. Debt refusion tree is the only solution. You can argue all you want, but paradoxically, I'm putting the solution on the table. This table in the meeting of the Montreal and Mount Royal, the table for the leaders of the free world on Mount Royal. So we're gonna take all the public and the private debt. We're gonna take all the public and the private debt. Right? My debt. I'm gonna explain the DRT now, and again, keep in mind that the DRT, debt refusion theory, also includes within my theory is integrated monetary integration theory. Monetary integration theory is integrated within my theory. Monetary integration theory. So we're gonna take all the debt, public and private debt, including my $10,000. My $10,000. So I got $10,000 in debt to the Royal Bank of Canada. So we're gonna take all the debt, public and private debt, all the debt, public and private debt. So we're gonna take all the public and the private debt. My debt, your debt, our debt. So my $10,000, your $10,000, we're gonna take all the debt together, coast to coast, all the debt. Public and private debt. We're gonna take all the debt, public and private debt. All the debt, including my $10,000, we're gonna convert it to the United States dollar, to the US dollar, because the United States dollar still is the currency of choice for world trade, international business, and import-export, and global affairs, tourism, and diplomacy. And the United States dollar, although been challenged, especially in the past 3.5 years, 45 months, there's been lots of challenges to it. So yours truly, that's what it is. And we're going to take all the debt, public and private debt, coast to coast, of all Canadians, public and the private debt, both. Of course, with certain details, but I'm saying in a general manner. So we're going to convert that debt we're going to convert it all into US dollars. All that money, it's Canada first, the DRT, my debt refusion to you, the DRT debt refusion to you is going to have to be implemented first in Canada. Canada first, by national preferred implementation at the same time with the Canadian-US border. It takes a public-private partnership, 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 it takes a public-private partnership. So we're going to take all the public and the private debt, including my $10,000, right? So all the debt together, we're going to take all the debt, public and the private debt, public and the private debt, public and the private debt. So all the debt together, we're going to take it all. Convert it to US dollar, all that money is going to be the initial money supply for a new central bank. It could be expanded Canada first, United States second, preferably binational Canada, US at the same time. Canada, US at the same time, Mexico, Haiti, Dominican Republic. Cuba is a paradox, but Cuba is part of the North American collective. 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 So Cuba, being part of the North American collective, part of the North American collective, is possible to be inside. So Cuba, Haiti, Dominican Republic, Jamaica. Oh, that's nice. Isn't that nice? Nice. Gonna cross to check it out. So all the debt, public and private, compared to US dollars, is gonna be the initial money supply. Oh, that's nice. For a new central bank. That's really nice. For a new central bank. Beautiful. So all the money, all the debt, public and private debt, compared to US dollars, is going to finance, is going to be the initial money supply for a new central bank. We're going to create a new currency called the UE. U dot universal, E dot universal, E dot exchange, U dot unit. The UE, the U dot universal, E dot exchange, U dot unit. The U dot universal, E dot exchange, U dot unit. The universal exchange rate. So all the money, public and private debt, converted to US dollars, is going to be the initial money supply to finance the central bank. And in my DRT, again, because I mentioned that, of course, it includes monetary integration theory. This is nice also, super beautiful. Nice also. It includes monetary integration theory. So we're going to create a new currency called the UE based on the value of the US dollar, and all the money in circulation is going to be all the public and private debt. With that money initially, we're going to be able to rebuild the infrastructure of the United States and Canada, North American collective infrastructure. We're going to be able to rebuild the North American collective infrastructure. We're going to be able to rebuild the North American collective infrastructure. We're going to be able to rebuild the North American collective infrastructure. We're going to be able to rebuild the North American collective infrastructure, to rebuild the North American collective infrastructure. With that money, going to be able to rebuild infrastructure. This is beautiful also. We're going to be able to rebuild the North American infrastructure. Hey, that's super nice also. Snowflakes, white and red and green and blue. White and red and green and blue. Let's the UEC and me and DRT and you and me and us. North Americans unite. Look at the beautiful snowflakes. So beautiful. Wow, that's really nice. Really cool. So all the money in circulation, is going to be all the public and the private debt. All the public and the private debt. All the money in circulation. Oh, I love those icicles also. Electric icicles. That's really cool also. So DRT, depth fusion theory, we have to implement it. So all the money, hey look, there's sand on the door. Sand on the window. He's doing it. That's funny. So all the debt, public and the private debt, converted into US dollars, that's going to be the initial money supply. That's going to be the initial money supply for a new central bank. All the debt, public and private debt, converted into US dollar, that's going to be the initial money supply. All the debt, public and private debt. The DRT includes monetary integration theory. All that money, hey, this is nice also, super beautiful. With all that money, all the public private debt, that's going to be the initial money supply for a new central bank. That's really nice. All the debt, public and private, is going to be the initial money supply for a new central bank. New money supply. We're going to create a new central bank and a new currency, the UE Universal Exchange Rate. With that money, we're going to be able to mass finance the rebuilding of the North American collective infrastructure. Build 44 tunnels. In case of a thermonuclear war. Oh, that's nice. 44, 44, 44. Case of 44, because I said 44, and there's the number 44. 44 tunnels, based on the Montreal, based on the underground village, Montreal village. It's an underground city. It's an underground city, basically. In Montreal, it's an underground city. You know, Montreal City and underground, you know. Montreal City, underground Montreal City, you know. An underground Montreal City, an underground Montreal City, an underground Montreal City, you know. So that's what it is, and we're gonna build 44 towns in case of a thermonuclear war, in case of a thermonuclear war, in case of a thermonuclear war, in case of a thermonuclear war. And of course, rebuild the infrastructure, mass finance, housing, public housing, rebuild the North American inner cities, rebuild the North American inner cities, rebuild the ghettos of North America, rebuild the ghettos of North America, build new bridges, new railways, new public infrastructure, public parks, mass finance citizens to work out, train, exercise, mass finance, credit them, let them do my workout training program system, finance them some UEs, universal exchange, workout, train, exercise, and workout, train, exercise, you know. That's what we're gonna do, you know. Mass finance the building of the North American People's Imperial Coliseum, mass finance tourism. Because when I crossed Canada coast to coast in 2017, that event changed my whole life. That's when I came out of being depressed and suicidal. In August, I went in BC, British Columbia, and in September, I went to Halifax, Nova Scotia. I went in Halifax, Nova Scotia. And here I am a little bit on the wild side from Civilisation. You get some wild side, and we got rabbits bunch. So we got some flora and some fauna and some great spots here on the island. I live on an island surrounded by a big river, huge mega river, St. Lawrence of North America, and live in an island. Montreal is a metropolis island, second most populated in Canada. Was the first until about 2010, right? Just recently, in the past decade, was overtaken by Toronto. Recently, in the 21st century, it was for hundreds of years, it was the most populated Montreal. And the Montreal was for many years in the top center for finance, economy, business, culture, commerce. But now it's Toronto's number one. We're second, but we're top in the top. I think seventh or eighth in North America. 7th or 8th. So here the railroad. I'm gonna give some salutation to the train conductors, LOV train conductors of Quebec, Canada, North America. Now we got since 2023 that CPKC, Canadian Pacific Kansas City, which merged in 2023, creating the biggest ever merger, biggest railroad in North America now. It goes all the way from Canada. We can go all the way by rail, by train, all the way to Mexico, deep into Mexico. Deep. Because Mexico is long, right? It's a long state. It also has 2 oceans, right? Mexico is part of North America. We can go deep in, all the way into Mexico City and beyond by the CPKC. So we got to integrate North Americans, unite, create the UE as a common currency. Make some deals, you know. Make some deals, maybe with the cartels, you know. Make some deals, say, hey, this is where we're facing World War III. Want to do some business, we got to get rid of that. Fentanyl is not a recreational drug. That fentanyl is not a recreational drug. Here in Canada in 2019, we got good, I don't smoke much cannabis, but we got good ones. Good cannabis, good hashish, good gummies. We got across North America many legal recreational drugs, you know, so we don't need poison. Otherwise, it's not a recreational drug anymore. If it inhibits activities and joy, you know. So whatever the case may be, I know addictions and what can be tough. And you know, maybe I was addicted to porn myself. Maybe I'm celebrating today on this month of December 45 months since it's been, I believe, maybe more than 42 months, more than 3 years and a half now, I believe, a bit more, not by much, a little bit more now, I believe, because it was around between March and June 2021, last porn, it's like clips, you know, because they're not really movies, because they're not 93 minutes, they're like 93 minutes, I think. It was maximum 40, almost 45 minutes, almost 45 minutes, whatever. Because but anyways, marking my own personal. I do not object to it, not morally, not, it's just for me celebrating, I guess, I don't know if I could call it a victory, but I just decided to go on a long porn diet and just that's it, that's all with that, and give some charity help, support building the Forgotten Goddess Temple. My brothers and sisters, the DRT debt refusion theory is the only solution for the creation of the UE, the universal exchanger, the U dot universal, E dot exchange, U dot unit, the UE, the universal exchanger. Here we are in Quebec, North America. Here we are in Quebec, North America. For the creation of the universal exchange, we got to implement the DRT. It's something which we got to do. The debt refusion theory. Yes, there's the rabbit. You saw it jump. That's a good omen. Bunny sits there in the blackness, in the darkness, in the blackness. But it just jumped from here. So be careful. Don't pollute when you come here. It's people come with their dogs and pets, but. See, we got bunnies, we got rabbits. They survive here, so they have plenty of place to survive, to feed, It just hopped like 3 times, tick, 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 and then it went hiding. And I see them on the mountain often, Mount Royal, my second home, which is kilometers and miles from here. And, look at this. The new glove that I got is actually providential, because it's got a pyramid, and in the pyramid it's got 3 mountains. 3-peaked mountain, which that's what we have. Mount Royal is 3 peaks, Mount Royal proper, Outremont and Westmount. We got a mountain at the heart south, in the south though, but in the middle, south, kind of in the heart, but not exactly in the center in terms of north and south, but east and west, yes, it's exactly in the middle, between east and west, exactly in the middle, but more south than north. It's more south than north. Not completely south, but if you look on the island, is more south. So in the south, exactly in the middle between the east and the west of the island, Metropolis, which is 2.5 million people, right? It's a huge island. I live in Metropolis, Montreal, aka Hawk Island, Montreal. So the DRT debt refusion tree, we're going to create the UE. Create the universal exchanger is the only solution. The UE. We're going to rebuild the infrastructure of North America. Mass finance tourism, mass finance citizens to workout, train, exercise. Maybe get my workout training program system and credit them some UEs. Give my workout training program system and credit them some UEs. Get my workout training program system, credit them some UEs. Get my workout training program system, make them create them some UEs and go on the go, and get it for that. Calling for my Scorpio brother Bill Gates, Scorpio astrologically related Scorpios, brother Bill Gates, and BlackRock, Blackstone are 2 different financial institutions which split in 1988 or 1989, but Larry Fink is another Scorpio. Basically, what I'm saying takes a public-private partnership base, the implementation of my DRT theory, debt refusion theory, for the creation of the universal exchanger, but of course the implementing, of course, of the Great North American Census, and of course parallel to my Scorpio brother Joe Biden is a Scorpio as well. Takes all the astrological signs, Sagittarius, Pisces, Leos, and all the 12 plus the 13th, I guess, the sun and the moon combined. God, goddess, let's build together on the Canadian-US border, the North American People's Imperial Coliseum, the Forgotten Goddess Temple, and the House of the Dragons, pyramid, simple, austere, severe, but scarlet, crimson, and scarlet are shades of red, my favorite color. Encouraging all to work out, train and exercise. Marking 42 months, more than 3.5 years, as I cross underneath these big, tall evergreens, 7 times my size. 42 months since I stopped watching my last porn flick. When I watched porn online was more than 42 months ago, more than 3.5 years ago. So marking 5 years plus now since I created my own workout training program system, since I concluded that humanity, we're again set on an international conflagration. We're again set on an international conflagration. And of course, I'm going to mark soon in February, March, 5 years since, of course, I died of COVID and I'm being reborn, nothing that I want to go back to, and being reborn, and I'm healing my scars, I guess. And I got a new cream which I'm applying, new cream alternative, because I discussed it again in the past. I got my little scar clit, dick clit, that I got a scar a little bit on my androgynous genitalia, and got a scar, kind of a wound scar. It could be psoriasis, a skin condition which causes itchiness. It's big. It does not impede me from, erections. My clit dick clit sometimes goes rocket on occasions, I guess. So that aside, give some chatty mayonnaise, and rock and roll for the farmers, butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, grocery store clerks all the time, manifesting and engaging in geopolitical theorizing and analysis, geopolitical theoretical analysis 24/7. My brain, of course, is involved in my special interest being the study and the analysis of geopolitics, and I'm an independent geopolitical theoretical analyst and theorist and philosopher, artist, athlete, and it's always 24/7 rock and roll, geopolitics and sports and fitness. Dancing is my favorite sport and fitness activity, so that's my trinity of special interest, which is with intense focus, and it's constant for many years. I got my Asperger's routine, but sometimes it's a bit on the flex side, and I have my ritualistic routines, but it's not my ritualistic routine, it's not I can make some changes. I'm not totally resistant to change, and I changed a lot, especially since I died of COVID 2020. I thought that was it for me, and I changed a lot after I moved, especially in the past 44 months, because for years and years I've been told, you have HFA, high functioning autism, and I've been diagnosed Asperger's, you have Asperger's, and by many different people, and I refused, and until now, I said, I have it, and I have to work on my symptoms, and that's what I have to do with that, and here I am, and on the go, and we gotta get it for the doers, for the thinkers, for the butchers, for those bakers, firefighters, truckers, LOV, firefighters, LOV, the truckers, the bakers, the butchers, and those warehouse workers, and those train conductors going east, west, north, south, across. Gotta sing some rock and roll, and then switch it for French. Ready for some rock and roll? Rainbow Dragon on the go. Hey, sing me some of that good rock and roll. Rainbow Dragon for the truckers, bakers and the nurses, in the daycares, that they changing diapers. Workers, it ain't all about Wall Street. Why they so selfish? I don't need. I'm not totally flawless. I ain't perfect. Got imperfections. Got some vices. Got some lusts. Oh yeah. Got some vices. Got some lusts. Yeah. Got some vices. Got some lusts. I up in the lost and found. That's the bridge up in the town. I done wearing red. I said. Wearing red. Rainbow Dragon. Yeah. For the Hydro-Quebec workers, those electricians and those plumbers. Gotta give it for the firefighters, train conductors. They got it paid, made the paid. They gotta pay, I'm gonna. Give a jab to that trumper. That I'm gonna give her. One of those jabs up in the trumper. Wow. That I'm gonna give her. Wow. One of those jabs up in the trumper. We commit our 50-50. On the equal North America, true north, strong and free, yeah. On the home of the brave and the free, yeah. Got the freedom in the both, gotta get some love and serve, with some kisses, got some melody, eggnog, that I sing free, eggnog, that I sing free, eggnog, that I sing free, eggnog, got a taste up in the bottle, that's a rumble fumble, wow, gotta get it for the rock and roll, on the road up in Texas, gotta been reincarnated around the body, hey, I've been past the bridges, that's the English, that's the sentence, and we eat frozen lettuce for a new, for the lettuce for the you, for the lettuce for the do, for the lettuce for the sue, for the lettuce for another B, for the lettuce for another C, and that's harmony up in the loo, harmony for the do, harmony for the you, harmony for the blues, harmony for the doers, harmony before the shakers, harmony before the bakers. Hey, that's no troublemaker. Wow. Gotta sing it for the double, gotta sing it for the trouble, gotta give it for the rumble, and you gotta give it for that lumber, for the rumble on the doos, for the streets up in the U, for the streets up in the doers. And you know they chosen for us. That's they chosen for us. That's they chosen for us in the forum. Hey, gotta keep up and give them score 'em. Keep them score 'em. You know that's the pyramids that hold 'em. Pyramids that told 'em. Pyramids that bold and boulder. Gotta give it for the free. For those chopper melody. Chopper melody. I got free and I got double. I got free and I got trouble. I got free and I got rock and roll happen to do. Rock and roll for me and you. You know that I sing love. Ain't no love, that's the boo. And another soul I see. That's to live in harmony. And you know I love liquor. Not that liquor, but that liquor with a kiss. I don't mind a little drinker. Not too much, cause I get tipsy. Gotta get a harmony lippy me. That's the rock and roll up in the trouble. That's the freestyle, that's the rainbow dragon. That's the singing for the Lou. I ain't play the guitar, but I just sing a bring the wolf. Gotta sing for the love. That's the lust up in the fox. They try to set me trapping up. That's the Aspie, that's what's up. I know that I can go about it. I am perfect in some sentence. Some sentence gotta see. I'm being told we're gonna French it. Gotta French it, kiss it. Hey, gotta switch it to liable, Privee. Hey, you know that I sing it double sing it. Triple for the road up in the miss it. Hey, they don't miss objections. Hey, that playing rainbow with it, kiss it. Hey, and another kiss up in the hug. You know that I love. Hey, gotta swing it with no trouble. Gotta sing it for the double. Gotta give for the rock and roller. Been the road up and you know, been the road up in the dough, up in the snow. That's the train up in the blower. Train conductors, hey, train conductors out to sea, choo-choo in the harmony. You know that's the bread makers. Hey, truckers gotta swing about it for the letters. Swing about it for they left us. Gotta give it for the left and right. Centers gotta get it out of sight. Gotta give it enough D. Gotta give it enough D. And another CC. For that's you and that's me. French it. Gotta give it for the kissing. Gotta give it for the love. Gotta give it trucker bees. For another, hey. As a rainbow rock and roller from the dragon on the road. Freestylers, you know. Always rock and roll. Always on the go. Rock and roll rainbow dragon in French. Bienvenue. Une session le 26 décembre. Je dois commencer, je commence partie avec la gratitude. J'ai payé mon loyer pour le mois de décembre, ça finit bientôt. Hein. On est le 26. Jeudi le 26, je dois remercier ceux qui vont ramasser le compostage. Je dois ramasser... qui ramasse le compostage. Le 26 décembre, aujourd'hui le jeudi, pour en faire le 26 décembre, je dois bien sûr faire la mention de la gratitude pour en faire, la mention pour les camionneurs, les boulangers dans les boulangeries, ceux qui ramassent dans les charcuteries de travail, qui font de la belle province, du collectif de travail de l'Amérique du Nord, pour le travail du collectif qui se passe maintenant en ce moment. On est le 26 décembre, puis je dois avoir ma gratitude, de dire ma gratitude, parce que j'ai eu ce beau cadeau, ces nouvelles gants. Et par providence, vous voyez, dans une pyramide, il y a comme trois montagnes dans cette pyramide. Il y a comme trois montagnes dans la pyramide. Puis ça fait penser à ma deuxième maison sur le Mont-Royal. Le Mont-Royal, à des kilomètres d'ici. Le Montréal-Ouest qui se trouve quand même à une certaine distance d'ici. Tu sais, c'est pas proche d'ici vraiment. C'est quand même loin d'ici. Mais bien sûr, c'est le Mont-Royal. C'est le système de montagnes qui ont trois sommets. Mont-Royal, Outremont, puis Westmount. Westmount, Outremont, puis Mont-Royal. Ça fait partie des sommets. Trois sommets de la montagne au centre de l'île de Montréal. La métropole. Et bien sûr, la gratitude. J'ai des gaufres, j'ai de la dinde, et il me reste un peu verre, peut-être un demi, ça dépend de quel verre, bien sûr. La grosseur, la quantité dans le verre, si j'utilise le verre plus petit, ça va être un verre. Si le plus gros, mais ça va être la moitié. Le lait de poule, là, que j'adore, le lait de poule, le lait de poule, là. C'est une de mes choses que je pourrais faire pour le temps des fêtes, puis j'en ai bu hier, ça sentait tellement bon, puis c'est fait au Québec, c'est fait dans la coopérative de Longueuil, c'est fait dans la coopérative de Longueuil, fait que merci de l'avoir produit, puis je l'ai à comme 44 cents moins de réduction, il y a un prix spécial, fait que je l'ai quand même un bon prix, mais c'est pas moi qui ai à payer quand même, je dois dire, salutations à mon ami anonyme, puis si je fais 1 million, 1 milliard, 1 trillion, je donne la moitié, 50%, 50%, soit la moitié, que mon ami anonyme mérite d'être 7 fois le chiffre après 6 qui vient avant 8, c'est 7. Donc pour donner 7 fois, elle mérite d'être 7 fois plus riche que Céline. Je t'aime bien Céline, mais j'ai composé même des chansons pour en chanter parce que vous savez que votre Asperger, le dragon arc-en-ciel, là, des fois, messieurs, madame, mais on chante des chansons de rock'n'roll au quotidien, puis c'est ma trinité d'intérêts spéciaux, aussi connue comme des intérêts obsessifs, qui ça passe d'une routine puis d'une intensité, ce travail dans ces 3 intérêts. C'est 24 sur 24 quasiment, puis c'est la géopolitique, l'entraînement physique, soit le sport que je préfère, c'est la danse, l'entraînement physique que je préfère, c'est la danse, avec le rock'n'roll. Fait que ces activités, ces 3 activités d'intérêts spéciaux que d'autres qui n'ont pas l'Asperger, qui ne sont pas autistes, ils appellent des intérêts obsessifs, mais c'est pas vraiment des intérêts obsessifs parce que nous, on ne voit pas ça vraiment comme des obsessions, c'est plus des intérêts spéciaux quand on travaille dedans, on est super concentré puis super dedans, avec une intensité puis une concentration plus intense. Mais c'est ça l'Asperger, c'est ça l'autisme hautement fonctionnel. Puis moi, je suis quelqu'un qui aime pas la violence, j'aime pas la violence, mais je suis quand même hyper vigilant. J'ai vécu mon tronc, puis mes cicatrices. Fait que je suis hyper vigilant, puis je suis sûrement pour la défense du Québec, du Canada, qu'est-ce que j'appelle le grand collectif de l'Amérique du Nord, ou le grand collectif de civilisation de l'Amérique du Nord. Le grand collectif de civilisation de l'Amérique du Nord, là. Grand collectif de civilisation de l'Amérique du Nord. Donc, nous, au Québec, on a fait le grand compromis linguistique. Hein? Le grand compromis linguistique pour avoir la continuité du français. C'est le grand compromis pour avoir l'harmonie. Puis comme la devise de Montréal, ça dit, Concordia Salus. Concordia Salus, hein? Concordia Salus, mais Concordia Salus, ça veut dire l'harmonie ou le bien-être par l'harmonie. Le bien-être par l'harmonie, c'est en latin, hein, mais c'est la devise de Montréal, puis la devise, bien sûr, du Canada, c'est Almaré ou de Masque-Almaré, puis où j'habitais, mais je m'en souviens pas parce que ma mémoire est comme un blackout de mémoire, là, mais je m'en souviens juste d'avoir déménagé ici sur l'île de Montréal, d'une place où il y avait beaucoup de moisissure, là, plus que 7 ans, 7-8 ans, même 9 peut-être, 7-8 ans, puis j'ai déménagé, puis c'est là que j'étais en dépression, suicidaire, j'ai traversé le Canada, je commençais à m'entraîner physiquement, créer mon propre système d'entraînement physique, puis du travail en géopolitique. J'ai même prévu la situation qui se passe maintenant, en 2019. En 2019, j'ai prévu la situation qui se passe maintenant. C'est ça mon travail en géopolitique, puis bien sûr, j'ai la preuve, là, en octobre, novembre, j'ai prévu la situation actuelle qui se déroule en ce moment, d'une manière, bien sûr, en 2019. J'ai prévu la situation qui se déroule en ce moment. En 2019, j'ai prévu la situation qui se déroule en ce moment. En 2019, j'ai prévu, bien sûr, une conflagration internationale. C'est ça que j'avais prévu en 2019. C'est ça qui arrive, comme une 3e guerre mondiale dans le monde. C'est ça qui se passe dans le monde. Une conflagration internationale, soit quasiment une 3e guerre mondiale. Puis, pour vous dire un petit résumé, c'est parce que j'ai conclu que, vu à cause, bien sûr, du fait, bien sûr, qu'il y a bien des régions, bien des États, bien des pays qui n'ont pas été capables de résoudre leurs problèmes, de de manière pacifique. Il n'y a pas eu de résolution pacifique à des conflits. Je sais que ces conflits-là vont reprendre au 20e siècle. Je dois saluer les travailleurs en construction ici pour bâtir. C'est sûr que ça prend de l'investissement, comme vous voyez là, 10 millions, mais en vous saluant les travailleurs en construction, j'ai besoin de vous. Je mets sa table des bisous, des lavages de pieds, et puis ben du rock'n'roll avec des chatouilles avec ça, pour en construire le palais du peuple impérial, le palais du peuple, le colisée du peuple nord-américain impérial, ou le colisée impérial là, du peuple nord-américain, bientôt dit, le Colisée impérial du peuple nord-américain vis-à-vis parallèle, le temple de la déesse oubliée, je veux bâtir le temple de la déesse oubliée, je veux bâtir avec votre aide, soutien, parce que c'est les travailleurs en construction qui sont rock'n'roll de même pour en construire les bâtiments, puis bien sûr pour en construire le temple de la déesse oubliée, puis la maison du dragon en pyramide écarlate, rouge c'est écarlate c'est bien une version du rouge, ma couleur préférée que je suis en train de porter, puis je vends tous les biens que je porte en ce moment dans cette marche de méditation. Je suis sorti à la marche de méditation, je suis bien sûr sorti à ma marche de méditation, bien sûr, je suis sorti à ma marche de méditation maintenant, mais je suis sorti à ma marche de méditation, puis je fais une méditation sur les camionneurs, les infirmières, les pompiers, tous les boulangers dans les boulangeries, les infirmières, les docteurs, les pompiers, les travailleurs des services publics qui ont ramassé la poubelle, le compostage. Aujourd'hui, c'est le service de compostage, le jeudi, le 26 décembre. Puis, bien sûr, je vous encourage à faire l'entraînement physique. Puis, la gratitude, c'est tellement un bon esprit d'en avoir pour la santé mentale. Puis, encore une fois, moi, quand j'ai traversé le Canada de côte à côte, en 2017, en août, je suis allé en Colombie-Britannique, puis en septembre 2017, ça fait plus que 7 ans, là, plus que 7, le chiffre après 6 avant 8, c'est 7. Ça m'a tellement fait du bien, je suis passé de côte à côte, puis avant ça, j'étais en dépression, puis suicidaire, puis cet événement, ça a en fait fondé un esprit de corps solide avec le Québec, le Canada, mais en vous considérant comme ma famille, tu sais, comme ma famille, mais j'ai eu un réveil, j'ai dit, waouh, tellement de choses à faire. Tellement de choses à faire. Avoir 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 tellement de choses à faire. Et avoir tellement de choses à faire. Et avoir à faire, puis à voir au Québec, puis tellement de choses que je me reste à faire, puis à voir au Québec, au Canada, en Amérique du Nord, dans toute l'Amérique du Nord au complet. Donc, on fait partie du collectif nord-américain. Puis, j'ai sorti de la dépression. C'était un événement qui a changé ma vie. Puis ce temps-là, j'ai écrit plusieurs théories parallèles des documents qui ont, pour faire appeler, bien sûr, au financement, au tourisme, financer le tourisme. Financer le tourisme. Financer le tourisme, financer le tourisme, financer le tourisme, financer qui voyage. Ça fait tellement bon pour la santé mentale, pour fonder un esprit de corps. C'est l'armée, mais on n'est pas des mercenaires, là, l'armée des forces canadiennes. Puis c'est le temps pour la République, là. C'est le temps pour la République. C'est ça que j'avais vu. Le roi est absent, mes chers. Le roi est absent, tu sais. Donc, pour une union de l'Amérique du Nord, comme qu'ils ont fait parallèlement dans la communauté européenne, en Europe. Ça fait longtemps qu'ils ont fait une monnaie d'échange, une banque centrale commune, supranationale, la création de l'euro, une devise. C'est le temps qu'on fasse ça en Amérique du Nord, parallèlement aux réalités du collectif nord-américain. Comme qu'on a fait le grand compromis linguistique. Les 10 millions de Québécois, mais on continue à le faire, le grand compromis linguistique. Le grand compromis linguistique. Puis bien sûr, par ma vision sur le rêve du dragon arc-en-ciel, le royaume de la déesse et du dragon qui danse, le royaume de la déesse et du dragon qui danse, le royaume de la déesse et du dragon qui danse est fondamentalement un appel à un partenariat public-privé. Et fondamentalement un appel à un partenariat public-privé, c'est fondamentalement un appel à un partenariat public-privé, c'est fondamentalement un appel à un partenariat public-privé. Un partenariat public-privé, un PPP, partenariat public-privé, pour le collectif de l'Amérique du Nord. Puis maintenant, je veux discuter la TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, la TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, mais ça, c'est la seule unique solution qui peut nous sauver, du point de vue financier où qu'on est rendu avec les finances publiques. Je dois saluer ceux qui ont travaillé, les travailleurs publics qui ont mis les arénas. J'ai plus de patins, mais l'aréna, je peux patiner peut-être sans patin. Je dois avoir de la lumière qui allume bientôt, mais il est pas OK. Parce qu'il y a de la neige dessus, donc il n'est pas vraiment prêt à patiner. Peut-être dans la fin de semaine, là, il va être prêt. Il y a le travail public qui s'en occupe, mais C'est la méditation pour. Fait que maintenant, je vais discuter de la TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette. La TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, c'est la seule et unique solution qui peut nous sauver maintenant, nous sauver d'où qu'on est rendu du point de vue financier. La TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, pourquoi je me prononce de même, mais c'est qu'à cause qu'on paye 46,5 milliards d'intérêts, 46,5 milliards d'intérêts, 46,5 milliards d'intérêts. 46,5 milliards d'intérêts, là. C'est 46,5 milliards d'intérêts, 46,5 milliards d'intérêts, 46,5 milliards. Ça, c'est le montant d'un milliard qu'on paye d'intérêt sur la dette publique. C'est 46 000 millions, ça. C'est 46 000 millions. 46 000 millions. 1 milliard, c'est en 9 zéros, hein. Et c'est beau, cet arbre, hein? Un beau arbre avec de lumière. Et c'est beau, beau, beau avec la neige. Et c'est vraiment beau, ça. Comment ça fait? Les lumières, quand elles sont petites, mais ils brillent fort. Une brillance, c'est beau, ça. La TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, je dois discuter maintenant. Encore une fois, pourquoi je me prononce demain, c'est plus qu'à cause, bien sûr, dû au fait, bien sûr, qu'on paye 46,5 milliards d'intérêts. C'est 1 milliard, c'est un 9-0, là. 46 000 millions. En 2020-2021, c'était 20,3 milliards. 20,3 milliards, 20,3 milliards. 20,3 milliards, c'est 20 000 millions. 20,3 fois 2, c'est 40,6. Fait qu'en 2020-2021, la service de la dette, soit en d'autres mots, là, c'est l'intérêt qu'on paye sur la dette publique canadienne. L'intérêt qu'on paye sur la dette publique canadienne. L'intérêt qu'on paye sur la dette publique canadienne, c'est rendu de 46,5 milliards. C'était 20,3 milliards, là. 20,3 milliards fois 2, c'est 40,6. En 3 ans, ça a plus que doublé l'intérêt seulement sur la dette qu'on paye. Il n'y a pas de solution là, de ça, là, que la théorie de la refusion de la dette, ma théorie, ou quelque chose de parallèle, similaire à ma théorie. Là. Écoutez, c'est ça. C'est à cause de la COVID. Puis ailleurs, survécu la COVID, j'étais mort. C'était comme la mort, la pestilence, la maladie. Je pensais que j'allais mourir, mais je dis souvent, je suis mort dans ma grotte où j'habitais avant, où j'habite maintenant. Puis, tu sais, je suis en train de renaître, puis je vous mets sur la table, là, parallèlement à les milliards de bisous, des châteaux, puis ben du rock'n'roll, puis des pieds de marche. Bien, la TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, ça s'appelle un partenariat public-privé pour faire l'implémentation, mais c'est la seule solution. Il n'y en a pas d'autre. On paye, ça a plus que doublé durant 3 ans. Là, on est en train d'avoir, qu'est-ce qu'en anglais, dans les finances, on dit un Black Swan événement, un événement des finances Black Swan. Ouais, c'est possible qu'il y ait dès le début de janvier, là, dans 2 semaines, même la première semaine de février, c'est possible qu'il y ait un effondrement des finances publiques canadienne, un effondrement des finances publiques canadiennes, c'est possible là, dès le janvier. Même avant que Trump soit inauguré officiellement comme président, c'est possible qu'il y ait un effondrement des finances publiques canadiennes, tellement c'est ça. Ça a plus que doublé. Là. Vous réalisez qu'en 3 ans, le fait que payer d'intérêt, ça a doublé en 3 ans, vous réalisez ça. Oubliez que je sois monsieur, madame, 50-50, androgène, bizarre avec l'Asperger's. Il faut vous focuser sur le principe, la proposition de la solution. La proposition de la solution, qui est la TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, qui inclut, dans ma TRD, est inclus la théorie d'intégration monétaire, qui est la théorie financière que les Européens ont fait l'implémentation dans les années 90. Ça fait longtemps. Ils ont fait de la création, ils ont détruit leur banque nationale. Les Allemands, les Français, les Italiens, plusieurs pays de l'Europe, ils ont maintenant une banque centrale, multinationale, supranationale. Plusieurs pays se sont mis ensemble en des années 90, il y a plus que 25 ans en Europe, puis ont fondé une banque centrale commune, puis ont fondé une monnaie commune, l'euro. Ils n'ont plus le Deutschmark en Allemagne, le Lira en Italie, le franc en France. Ils n'ont plus ça, ils ont l'euro ensemble. C'est le temps qu'on fasse quelque chose en Amérique du Nord. Similaire en Amérique du Nord. Similaire en Amérique du Nord. Fait que c'est le temps qu'on fasse quelque chose de similaire en Amérique du Nord, bien sûr. Similaire en Amérique du Nord. Donc, la TRD, ça. C'est ça qu'il faut qu'on fasse ensemble, bien sûr. C'est ça qu'il faut qu'on fasse ensemble. C'est ça qu'il faut qu'on fasse ensemble. Donc, on va prendre toute la dette. La TRD, je vous l'explique encore une fois, ça inclut, dans ma TRD, ça inclut la théorie d'intégration monétaire. Et encore une fois, je vous dis, mais c'est la seule solution. Donc, dans ma théorie, Ça contient la théorie d'intégration monétaire, ce qui est la théorie financière que les Européens ont faite, que les Européens ont fait, que les Européens ont fait, bien sûr. Dans la TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, ça contient la théorie d'intégration monétaire. Ça contient la théorie d'intégration monétaire. Donc, c'est ça que les Européens ont fait. Donc, on va prendre, je vous l'explique maintenant le plus simplement possible, quand je dis à l'Asperger, c'est connu comme l'autisme hautement fonctionnel. On a une de ses caractéristiques, parce que je n'appelle pas ça des symptômes c'est plutôt pour une maladie, mais l'Asperger, c'est une condition de neurodivergence, c'est pas une maladie mentale, c'est une condition de neurodivergence, ça fait que j'ai des intérêts obsessifs, puis oui, moi-même, dans certaines choses, j'ai de la misère, dans certaines relations sociales, j'ai de la misère, dans certaines interactions sociales, j'ai de la misère. Dans certaines choses, je suis médiocre comme ça. Pas bon, mais en géopolitique, c'est mon royaume, mon domaine. J'ai prévu la situation actuelle. Puis quand on étudie la géopolitique, on doit bien sûr savoir un peu des finances publiques. Fait que la TRD, ça sort un peu de la malédiction de l'Asperger, ce que je vis avec, puis que j'ai appris à faire la gestion de mes caractéristiques il y a plus que 42 mois là déjà, parce que ça faisait bien des années qu'on m'a diagnostiqué, des personnes différentes qui m'ont diagnostiqué, puis j'avais refusé pendant longtemps, mais jusqu'à durant la COVID, il y a comme plus que 44 mois, plus que 44 mois, puis j'ai commencé à l'accepter, là, mais je dois vivre avec ça. L'Asperger, c'est autisme hautement fonctionnel, fait que je vis avec cette condition de neurodivergence, qui n'est pas une maladie mentale, encore une fois. Donc, la TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette. On va prendre toute la dette publique-privée. Toute la dette publique-privée, on va prendre toute la dette publique-privée. Donc, je vous l'explique maintenant. Toute la dette publique-privée, mon 10 000, ton 10 000, ton 10 000, ton 10 000, de côte à côte, de côte à côte. Toute la dette publique-privée. On va prendre ensemble toute la dette publique-privée, toute la dette publique-privée, toute la dette publique-privée, toute la dette publique-privée, toute la dette publique-privée. On va apprendre ensemble, on va apprendre ensemble. On va apprendre ensemble toute la dette, mon 10 000, ton 10 000, votre 10 000, ton 10 000, ton 10 000. Ben, moi, j'ai 10 000 de dette à la Banque Royale du Canada. Banque Royale du Canada, ça, c'est une branche du Banque Royale, de la Banque Royale du Canada. Donc, on va prendre toute la dette publique privée, incluant mon 10 000. Incluant mon 10 000, mon 10 000, mon 10 000. Fait que toute la dette publique privée de côte à côte. Toute la dette publique-privée de côte à côte, toute la dette publique-privée de côte à côte. Mon 10 000, j'ai 10 000 de dette à la Banque Royale canadienne. Donc, ma dette, votre dette, ta dette de côte à côte des citoyens. La dette publique-privée. Fait que toute la dette publique-privée ensemble. Tout cet argent-là, vu que la devise des États-Unis est encore la monnaie de change et de choix pour le commerce global, les finances du monde, l'export, l'import, on va prendre tout cet argent-là. On va faire la conversion dans la devise des États-Unis. Fait que toute la dette publique-privée, on va ramasser ensemble et on va faire une conversion. Premièrement au Canada, mais de préférence les Canada et les États-Unis en même temps. De préférence Canada et États-Unis en même temps en Amérique du Nord. Je parle pour le grand collectif nord-américain, pour l'Amérique du Nord. Mais Canada premièrement. Fait qu'on va prendre toute la dette publique-privée, toute cette dette-là, on va convertir dans la devise des États-Unis parce que le dollar des États-Unis est encore la monnaie de change pour le commerce global, les finances du monde, l'import, l'export. Tout cet argent-là, avec la dette publique des États-Unis, Haïti aussi, Jamaïque, mais la Cuba, c'est un paradoxe. Cuba, c'est un paradoxe parce qu'ils sont encore socialistes communistes, mais ils font partie de l'Amérique du Nord. Mais on doit éloigner pour faire une entente pour le collectif nord-américain. Fait que tout cet argent-là, ça a fondé l'argent initial pour une nouvelle banque. On va faire comme en Europe, parce que dans ma TRD, ça contient la théorie d'intégration monétaire. Fait que toute la dette publique-privée, on va la ramasser ensemble. Toute la dette publique-privée, on va la ramasser ensemble. Et tout cet argent-là, ça a fondé l'argent initial pour une nouvelle banque. Ça a fondé l'argent initial pour une nouvelle banque. Ça a fondé l'argent initial pour une nouvelle banque. Qu'on va faire la création, l'argent en circulation initiale, ça va être toute la dette publique-privée, plus avec d'autres, l'argent en circulation qui existe, là. Toute la dette publique-privée, plus qu'est-ce qui existe, les logements d'argent ensemble. Ça va être l'argent en circulation pour la création d'une nouvelle monnaie pour le 21e siècle, basée sur la valeur du dollar des États-Unis dans le moment. Le UI, U point unité, E point échange, U point universel. Le UI. U point unité, E point échange, U point universel. Le UI. U point unité, E point échange, U point universel. La création de l'unité d'échange universel. Le UI. La création de l'unité d'échange universel. UI. Avec cet argent-là, on va pouvoir, tout l'argent, on va pouvoir rebâtir l'infrastructure du collectif nord-américain, rebâtir plus de centrales de l'Hydro-Québec, bâtir 44 tunnels à travers le collectif nord-américain, à travers l'Amérique du Nord, 44 tunnels dans le cas d'une guerre thermonucléaire pour la continuité de la civilisation du complexe nord-américain de l'Amérique du Nord, inspiré par le village souterrain de Montréal. Fait qu'on va bien faire du retravail pour le collectif nord-américain en les travaux publics, rebâtir les ponts, rebâtir l'infrastructure, les aqueducs, rebâtir l'infrastructure de l'Amérique du Nord, rebâtir l'infrastructure publique. Rebâtir l'infrastructure publique de l'Amérique du Nord. Fait qu'on va rebâtir des ponts, bâtir des parcs, bâtir des aqueducs, bien sûr du terrain, bâtir des autoroutes, bâtir bien sûr, rebâtir des autoroutes, puis des rues comme ça ici, dans les quartiers. On va pouvoir faire bien de l'argent, on va pouvoir financer les gens à l'entraînement physique. Créditer des UI pour mon entraînement physique que j'ai créé moi-même en 2019, qui est simple, efficace, qui ne requiert aucun équipement, puis j'ai créé bien sûr pour y aller vis-à-vis en main parallèlement, bien sûr, en main avec un entraînement physique qui, je l'ai fait pour y aller bien sûr avec une situation quand même d'urgence de 3e guerre mondiale en 2019, parce que mon sport, je suis obsédé par le sport et l'entraînement physique, mais le sport que je préfère, bien sûr, c'est la danse. Puis l'entraînement physique que je préfère, c'est la danse. Danser, c'est mon entraînement physique et mon sport préféré. Parallèlement, bien sûr, à la rock'n'roll, que je vais vous chanter bientôt, mais il faut faire l'implémentation de la TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette. C'est un paradoxe, mais il faut faire l'implémentation. Il n'y a pas d'autre choix de l'implémentation parce que là, on est rendu à payer 46,5 milliards d'intérêts. 46,5 milliards d'intérêts. 46,5 milliards d'intérêts. 46,5 milliards. 20,3 fois 2, c'est 40,6. 40,6. 20,3 fois 2, c'est 40,6. 40,6. Ça aurait été double. C'est plus que double là, qu'on paye d'intérêt sur la dette publique. 46,5. 46,5. Hein? C'est ça qu'on paye d'intérêt sur la dette publique. Hein? Fait que c'est ça qu'on paye d'intérêt sur la dette publique. C'est 46,5 milliards d'intérêts. Vous imaginez-vous comment c'est gros? 46,5 milliards. C'est en 9 zéros, ça. C'est 46,5 milliards. 46,5 milliards pour 46,5 milliards. 46,5 milliards. 46,5 milliards d'intérêts. C'est énorme comme chiffre. Là. Il n'y a pas de solution à ça. Donc, vous pouvez vous ostiner tant que vous voudrez, là, mais il n'y a pas de solution, you know? Il n'y a pas de solution à ça. C'est ça qu'il faut faire, l'implémentation de la TRD. Il n'y a pas d'autre solution. Il faut faire l'implémentation. C'est ça que ça prend. On n'a pas d'autre choix. Il n'y a pas de choix maintenant où qu'on est rendu à payer tant de milliards, tant de milliards, bien sûr. Tant de milliards, bien sûr. Qu'on fasse tant de milliards. Tant de milliards ensemble. Qu'on fasse ensemble. Tant de milliards ensemble qu'on fasse. C'est des milliards, là, c'est 9 zéros. Fait que même si vous vous ostinez là-dessus, vous pouvez vous ostiner plus, parce que c'est 46 milliards d'intérêts, là. C'est juste l'intérêt qu'on paye, c'est ça. Il n'y a pas d'autre solution. Il n'y a pas d'autre solution. C'est la solution. C'est un paradoxe, mais c'est la TRD, c'est la solution en ce moment. Il n'y a pas d'autre solution. La théorie de la refusion de la dette. C'est la seule solution en ce moment. Il faut faire l'implémentation de la TRD. faut faire l'implémentation de la théorie de la refusion de la dette. Il n'y a pas d'autre solution. Il y en aurait une, mais ça va être parallèle à la mienne parce que c'est la TRD, c'est ça qu'il faut faire. Il n'y a pas d'autre solution vraiment que l'implémentation de ma TRD. C'est ça qui est ça, puis that's it. Il n'y a pas d'autre solution. Hey, c'est beau ça flash là-bas. Fait que la TRD, on va faire la création de l'unité d'échange universel. La création de l'unité d'échange universel, la création de l'unité d'échange universel. Hey, c'est vraiment beau ça. Hey, c'est vraiment beau ça. Fait qu'on va faire la création de l'unité d'échange universel. L'unité d'échange universel. L'unité d'échange universel. Le UI. Fait que la TRD, théorie de la refusion. Ça aussi, c'est beau là-bas dans le coin. La TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette. TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette. La TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette. Pour la création de l'unité d'échange universel. C'est la seule et unique solution qu'il faut faire en ce moment. La TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette. C'est la seule et unique solution, bien sûr. C'est ça qu'il faut faire, bien sûr. Pour faire, bien sûr, une affaire ensemble pour la création de l'unité d'échange universel. Puis on va faire bien du bon avec ça. On va rebâtir l'infrastructure. Ça prend de rebâtir l'infrastructure. Rebâtir d'autres centrales, bâtir d'autres centrales d'Hydro-Québec. Financer les gens à faire l'entraînement physique. Financer les gens à l'entraînement physique. Rebâtir des maisons comme celle-là ici. Des maisons sociales comme celle-là ici, des maisons solaires comme celle-là ici, comme celle-là ici. On va faire bien sûr de la rebâtir ici comme on fait maintenant, you know. C'est ça qu'on va faire ensemble, bien sûr. La TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, rock'n'roll. Du rock'n'roll pour en faire. Bien sûr, de la même province pour en faire. Du rock'n'roll de la même province pour en faire. Du rock'n'roll de la même province pour en faire, bien sûr. Du rock'n'roll des lumières pour en faire ensemble. Pour en faire ensemble, ben la lumière. Dans il faut que ça soit bien sûr pour en faire la garde de la gauche, des lumières pour en faire l'œil. On va faire tout ensemble, de la gauche et de la droite québécois, puis québécoise. Les dragons en arc-en-ciel, le train des univers, camionneurs, les bouchers dans la boucherie, ça fasse blé la plante, ça fasse bien ensemble. Eh ben, du dragon en arc-en-ciel, le conducteur, le train, chemin de fer, le train, chemin de fer. Faut le voir pour le croire, c'est le rock'n'roll ensemble. Du métal, ça prend bien du doux, ça va faire Louis Cyr, et ça prend de la céline, coup de cire, la tige, la sirop d'érable, ça neige, ça goûte, ça planche, ça danse, ça veille, ça patine. Et je vois un car, rouge, coup de souris, pas de marteau, juste des aisselles, des ailles, des lumières, le rock'n'roll, j'en danse, j'accepte sur le café, ensemble, les poules, c'est les nouilles, ça se débrouille. Ah ouais. Ah, danse si j'arrête la chanson de rock'n'roll, les cheveux, j'en veux dans les airs, les cheveux. Des lumières de chez nous. Les balcons, ça descend tout ensemble avec les grues s'en montent en haut, travailleurs de construction. Les Québec, les infirmières, plombiers, ça plombe. Les travailleurs publics, ça ramasse les poubelles, les vidanges. Paix dans la neige, mais ça patine de paix dans la neige. Les dragons chantent. Pour le coquin 5, je veux savoir faire. Eh oui. Le rock'n'roll le 24 sur 24 heures. Que je chante bien dans le parc de travail public qui ont bâti avec des centrales, qui s'avancent. Ensemble des plombiers, pas de parking. Le 1er avril, poisson de l'avril, on est en décembre le 26, nouvel ensemble 25 avril 24. Des coups de grâce, je donne à Trump. Hey, coup de grâce, comme Louis XVI, je donne à droite à gauche à Trump. Nord-américain ensemble. Nous Américains ensemble, tremblement de terre. Avec amour, bisous, chatouille. Wouka, des automobiles sur la route. Ça va, c'est de la neige, ça débouille. Ça s'appelle le déneigement. Déneigement. Hey, lente, prudent, ça se le les orteils. Des grimaces, ça fasse bientôt. C'est le rock'n'roll de chez nous. De chez nous que vous chantez là, même en décembre, ça marche. Là, moins 7 degrés en décembre. Belle province, mes annonces, ouais, c'est moi, ça tremble. Que regardez les camions, ça ramasse. Du bon pain, ça sent bon. Du bon pain, ça sent bon, c'est du savon qu'on se lave, on danse. Dans grue, dans neige, on monte, plage, étage par étage. C'est les travailleurs en construction, waka! Les pompiers amour, les travailleurs en construction amour, oui. Les infirmières qui dansent, sont en pause. Hey, fume pas la cigarette, je te tape des boîtes de billettes. Fume pas la cigarette, je te tape des boîtes de billettes. Fume pas la cigarette, ça va faire. Yeah!